LAUSD board will discuss calls to shut down schools amid coronavirus concerns.
CBS 2's Tina Patel. She's live at the Westlake District with the latest on this. Tina.
Well, we have heard from a few teachers who told us they were told to put together 10-day take-home lesson plans. So it's possible the district could be getting closer to shutting down. That is what the teachers union wants. Take a look at this video. Last night, they held a press conference asking the district to take immediate action. There are more than 1,000 schools in the district, more than 600,000 students. And even though right now there are no coronavirus cases in the schools, the union doesn't think that LAUSD is prepared if there was an outbreak and lots of students and or staff were affected.
We just reached a point where we felt like, for public health reasons, for the health of our students, we needed to call for the closure of LAUSD.
Even though LAUSD is the largest district in the region, they're not the only ones trying to figure out how to protect students. We just heard that La Cañada is closing down. Here's a list of some of the other districts taking action. Palos Verdes schools will be closed today through April 3rd. The Ventura Unified School District will be open today, but closed Monday through April 10th. Santa Monica and Malibu schools will be closed today and Monday. Conejo Valley and Simi Valley schools will be closed all next week. Now back out here live, the emergency board meeting for LAUSD is going to be starting in about a half an hour. I just went in and talked to a couple of the security guys, and they asked me, have I been out of the country? Do I have a fever? Do I have any respiratory issues? They say they will be asking everybody who comes in those questions because, again, they, like everyone else, are really just trying to take these precautions as much as they can.
Families and employees stay safe. This is a challenging decision. But friends, we are learners, and I believe in the people of Los Angeles. Thank you to all.
Good morning, I'm Kelly Gonez. I represent the East San Fernando Valley. As my colleagues have said, this is an extremely difficult decision. We know in LA Unified we serve 85% of families where children are living in poverty, and so our schools are about instruction and academics, but they're about much more that our students receive at school, including safety and childcare and meals. I believe at this point we've done everything we can to make sure that our families will be prepared and will be supported with the schools closing, including opening of the family resource centers, where we will be providing meals and childcare to families from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. My office will be open and we'll be providing more information on the resource centers located in the East San Fernando Valley later today once that information is available. I also want to thank all of our employees, our principals, our teachers, all school staff, all folks in the central office who've been working tirelessly over the last several months, but especially over the last week, to make sure that we're prepared, to make sure that students have instructional materials so that they can continue learning at home, and to make sure that we're supporting our families in this difficult time.
Thank you. I'm Nick Melvoin, board member for District 4 on the west side in the West San Fernando Valley, and I just want to echo the gratitude of my colleagues. The schools may be closed, but the work continues, and I want to commend this group assembled here and all of our employees for the care and thought they've been putting into this response. It's been a surgical decision, and I think there's been a lot of public pressure on all sides to act hastily, and I think we see overreactions, and then we see huge, especially at the federal level, underreactions. As my colleague was saying, when we're a district where nearly 500,000 kids rely on us for 3 meals a day, where parents, many of whom are medical professionals or first responders, have childcare issues, this wasn't an easy decision. It's one we didn't take lightly. I'll reiterate what Ms. Gona said. On Wednesday, we'll have 40 schools that have been redesignated family resource centers that will be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., staffed with a combination of district employees, Red Cross volunteers, and county employees, where students can receive hot meals, where parents can seek child care.
They'll provide meals and care for children who need a little more support. Board members say this was not a decision they made lightly.
Rather than wait and see how difficult and how many people are ill, I think most of us have decided that the better thing to do is to try to prevent the spread by reducing the number of people who are in contact with each other who could become ill. And that's really what our decision is. It's probably the hardest thing I think I've ever had to vote on since I've been on the board.
And board members and LAUSD officials admit there's still a lot of details that they have to figure out. This is an unprecedented move, and they know it affects thousands of families and employees. So they say they're still working things out. They have set up hotlines for more answers that are coming as they go. We've put the numbers for those on our website, cbsla.com. DeMarco and Jasmine, we'll send it back to you.
Talk about a domino effect. All right, Tina, thank you. Meanwhile, President Trump will hold a press conference on the coronavirus pandemic at noon today.
So he is expected to declare a national emergency. CBS 2's Sandra Mitchell, she's live in the Satellite Center with the latest on this. Sandra.
Yeah, multiple sources now have told CBS News that the president will invoke emergency powers as our country really struggles to contain the coronavirus outbreak. So what does that mean? An emergency declaration probably would free up federal funding and resources to help with testing and treatment for the coronavirus. There also are provisions that could help people who are struggling with the economic impact of the outbreak. Congress also right now working on ways to help all Americans. The White House and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi say they are close to a deal which would provide free testing for coronavirus and paid sick leave, as well as bailouts for small and big businesses.
We're going to go to Congress and ask for a very significant increase in SBA lending authority. I've spoken to the Speaker about it. I've spoken to the Speaker and Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy and the President about airlines. That's something you can expect we'll deal with quickly.
All right, so we are waiting now for the president's address to the nation. That's going to happen about noon today. There also are concerns about the president's possible exposure to the coronavirus. An aide to Brazil's president has tested positive for the disease. He was part of a group that met with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. That was on Saturday. There were reports that Brazil's president had also tested positive, but his official social media pages now say that he has tested negative. So again, the president speaking at noon today. DeMarco, Jasmine, back to you guys.
And we'll carry that live. All right. Thank you, Sandra. We appreciate it.
And no one's immune to this. So the roller coaster week on Wall Street continues. Right now, though, the Dow is up over about 850 or so points and also by 4%. So that's hopeful as investors are hoping that government action will stabilize the economy during the coronavirus pandemic. Today's gains come after stock markets had their worst day of trading in over 30 years yesterday.
Jasmine, 2 more theme parks just announced that they will be shutting down as well. CBS 2's Jake Reiner is live outside Disneyland in Anaheim with the latest on this story. Jake.
Good morning, DeMarco and Suzanne. First, it was Disneyland, then it was Knott's Berry Farm, and now it's Six Flags Magic Mountain, all electing to shut their doors tomorrow and for the rest of the month. It rained so hard this morning. When people started showing up, Disneyland became Poncho Land. But none of that could keep people away.
We're trying to make it in so that we can, get our one day in at least.
That is until the park closes tomorrow for just the 4th time ever. Christina Guivar and her Disney Squad family from Hawaii had planned to be here well into next week.
I'm upset because now we got to plan another trip to come back so I can have all my other grandkids, you know what I mean? So timing is not good.
But you know who had good timing?
We got here just in time.
These ladies from Phoenix.
We were a little afraid. We bought the 2-day pass. We were afraid maybe we wouldn't be able to come today. But that's not the case, closing on Saturday, so we're planning on having fun.
Disneyland says there are no reports of COVID-19 at Disneyland Resort, but decided to close, heeding the state's recommendation regarding large crowds over 250 people. While the park will work with guests on potential refunds and pay its employees for the duration of the closure, what they can't help are the local businesses, like the Cove on Harbor convenience store.
A lot of the businesses are going to have to figure out today what's going to happen with, hotel closures, foot traffic for the area, what we're going to do with our staff, and it's going to be challenging.
Knott's Berry Farm and Six Flags Magic Mountain have followed Disneyland's lead in shutting down for the month as well. Christina Guivar says she planned to go to Universal Studios Hollywood, but yesterday it announced it will close Saturday too. She added that despite all the travel, she's not the least bit worried about coronavirus.
Even my friends in Hawaii, you're crazy, you're going to go to the mainland? And I go, yeah, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. Just be more cautious. You only live once, right? YOLO.
YOLO indeed. Disneyland Resort will remain open until Monday, so guests can make those special travel arrangements. Now, as far as Legoland goes, they are remaining open for the time being, but are taking precautions to make sure it is as clean as possible. Reporting live in Anaheim, I'm Jake Reiner, CBS 2 News.
All right, she's right. Just keep living. Wash your hands, so be cautious.
And this is all to stop the spread. And authorities and officials have said not to create panic or fear. So we all need to work together on this. But shoppers,
right, Jake, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. They've been already waiting in long lines at this Costco to stock up on emergency supplies this morning. This is a look from Sky 2 over the Van Nuys Costco about 90 minutes before it even opened. At the Burbank Costco, the line to get in wrapped around the building twice. Costco is just one of many businesses rationing supplies due to the soaring demand. Some stores have posted signs warning customers that there are limits on items like toilet paper and water.
And I'm so glad they put limits on toilet paper and water. You know, just get what you can need right now, what the need is right now, not for 6 or 7 months. All right, shoppers left almost nothing on the shelves at the Trader Joe's in Studio City yesterday. CBS 2 meteorologist Alex Biston posted this video on Twitter. She says one store worker told her they restocked 3 times yesterday. Wow. And everything is just going fast. All right, stay with CBS 2 and CBSN Los Angeles for continuing coverage of the coronavirus. And for updates, you can go to our website, cbsla.com. All right, plenty of wet weather across Southern California. This is what it looked like in Anaheim this morning, where Jake is. It poured there for several hours, and early risers made sure to bring their umbrellas. I'm so glad they did.
And he's not really running. He may be enjoying a little bit of the downpour.
Just a little bit, right?
This just was parked over us, Danielle. It took us by surprise.
I know. We had really about 24 hours, going on 24 hours now, of really steady rain. Now that low's shifting a little bit to the east, and that steady, even heavy at times, rain that we saw this morning is starting to break apart, and we're seeing more scattered, lighter showers. Still have snow showers coming down in our mountains too. And that's the trend we're going to see into this afternoon and into your weekend. On and off, very light showers. Temperatures are in the 50s. Your flash flood watches and your winter weather advisories have now expired. Still have limited visibility because of the fog out there and that rain. You could see raindrops on the downtown camera. On and off light showers into this afternoon. Highs in the 50s and 60s. We're going to stay below average. Again, keep your umbrellas handy all the way through the weekend.
This morning at just after 5 o'clock, I received a phone message from Chief Zipperman, the school police, and he shared with me the threat that had been made to not one school, but many schools in this school district. He shared with me that some of the details talked about backpacks, talked about other packages, and after talking with him, also with the board president, I made a decision to close all of the schools. I think it is important that I take the precaution based on what has happened recently and what has happened in the past. I have asked the chief to be working with the city police department and the sheriff before the day is over. I want every school searched to make sure that it is safe for children and safe for staff to be there on Wednesday.
Right now, the threat is still being analyzed. In an abundance of caution, as Superintendent Cortinas has indicated, we have chosen to close our schools today until we can be absolutely sure that our campuses are safe, and until it is deemed safe by law enforcement and concurred with our district officials, which we believe will be able to occur by the end of this day, we will keep those schools closed.